The Vancouver Canucks have a tough decision to make heading into the remainder of the season, with Braeden Cootes as all signs point towards Adam Foote making line changes heading into Monday night's game. But not only that, Quinn Hughes makes Vancouver Canucks history, and this stat has fans fired up. We're going to break down two quotes from Adam Foote and Braden Cootes with stats showing that Vancouver is going to have a tough decision to make with their young forward. But not only that, we're going to break down Quinn Hughes and a possible line change coming to Monday's game. We're going to break down all this and so much more in this episode. You're not going to want to miss it. So let's just dive straight into it today, where we do know the Vancouver Canucks captain Quinn Hughes made history last night in a loss to the Edmonton Oilers, but becoming the new all-time point leader for the Vancouver Canucks on defense. Now, with Quinn Hughes coming in, assisting on Brock Boeser's goal, putting up an assist, this pushed him ahead of a lot of elite talent, and one in particular in Edler. Now, with Quinn Hughes holding the record at 410 points, we're going to see a lot more points, and it's not going to shock me if Quinn Hughes gets to 1,000 points with the Canucks. But seeing him break this record in a loss, it sucks the Canucks didn't get a win, but at least coming out of it, you have something to look at, and that is, of course, Quinn Hughes. Now, with Quinn Hughes putting up the first assist of his season, he is bound for another insane season. The biggest thing with the Canucks back end is they're going to have to look at getting offense from someone other than him and Hronek. Now, looking at this, expected goals for with Hughes and Hronek is 57.1%. Working your way down, you can see a shutdown pairing of Elias Pettersson and Tyler Myers at 20%, and Forbert and DPD coming in at 15.4. With this, a lot of signs are going to point maybe changing this up. Listen, you had a great game, a 5-1 win versus the Calgary Flames. You drop a game versus the Edmonton Oilers where Thatcher Demko once again looked incredible, but getting scoring chances from the back end is something the Canucks didn't get a lot other than Quinn Hughes last season, of course, but getting this in, and all things are starting to point to maybe a line change coming to the back end for the Canucks as they're looking to get more offense. Now, looking at this, you can change it up. You could put Tyler Myers down, move DPD up with Elias Pettersson. The Pettersson to Pettersson connection, of course, would be fun, but I do think one thing that Adam Foote is going to look at when you have an extra defenseman on your roster is, of course, getting in Victor Mancini. Now, Moose was outstanding in the preseason, scoring 2 or 3 goals, I believe, and also having a good stint with the Canucks last year before going to Abbotsford and absolutely dominating. The big thing with Victor Mancini, yes, you can send him back to the AHL, but with them being without Joseph on IR until the end of October, the biggest thing is you have a young defenseman that's explosive, skates fast, has a good shot, and joins the rush. I think getting him into this next game versus the St. Louis Blues would be a good course of action. You can move Forbert over to his left and then move Victor Mancini over to the right side in this lineup, giving the Canucks even more chance to score. And moving out PD, yes, it hurts, but I think you need to work with what you have within the lineup. And looking at the event's stats, as soon as I can find them here, I think you do need to shake things up on the back end, especially if Adam Foote is wanting to use this new kind of force of defensemen stepping up throughout the play, and I think it's going to lean back on something moving here. But what's your guys' thoughts on this? First off, what is your thoughts on Quinn Hughes setting the record for the most points from a defenseman? We knew it was going to come, but it's awesome to see that he did break it. What is your thought on this? How many points do you think Quinn puts up with the Canucks throughout his career? And what do you think happens with the lines? Would you shake things up and maybe just move one of the defensemen to a different line? Or do you think moving in Victor Mancini is the right call? Let us know down in the comments. But with that, let's dive straight into the second topic today on what the biggest decision around the Vancouver Canucks is. And of course, that's Braeden Cootes. Now, Cootes spoke before going into the Edmonton game. It's been crazy good. It's been a crazy couple weeks, but I'm just trying to make it all. I'm just trying to play my game and not worry too much about making mistakes and just go out there and play. Now, Braeden Cootes is an awesome story. We've seen him drafted by the Vancouver Canucks at pick number 15. The young forward joins the group for the first time since the 90s. Joining in on the Vancouver Canucks and coming through to steal a roster spot. Now, in 2 games, Braeden Cootes has not registered points. He is a -1, but his play is great. We've seen flashes, moments. Yes, he's a young forward. He's still only 18 years old, but he does look a lot more mature than a lot of people, including myself, were expecting after coming out of a dominant season in the WHL. Now, the big thing with Cootes, there's a lot to like about his game, and there's a lot of event stats that show maybe he does need to go back to the WHL and continue. Adam Foote spoke on this and said we're going day by day, game by game. We're not going to look ahead at when the schedule gets tough or back-to-backs or anything like that. We're just going to look at one game at a time. He's a smart hockey player. Now, there's a lot of quotes, and I'm going to put this full article down below where we see Brock Boeser, Evander Kane. Everyone spoke on Cootes, but the biggest thing with Cootes in this lineup, he needs to get his faceoffs up. That's the first thing. A young forward's not going to step in and be absolute dominant. Aturatu kind of did that, but that was a big part of his game. But fans, the biggest thing with Cootes is trying to figure out the best thing to do. You can send him to the WHL, let him dominate, he'll be hungry, get back into the lineup next season. If you want to go past the 9-game threshold, then you're looking at burning a year off his ELC. But with the stats and just looking at the game versus the Edmonton Oilers, listen, the Canucks as a whole offensively did not play great, but looking at the event stats, Braeden Cootes was on the very bottom with Jonathan Lekmacki, DPD. A lot of these young guys are just getting cemented into the lineup, and this did cause a bit of rough play from them in particular. With Cootes, his play on the ice once again does look good, but looking at the effective offense, looking at the team defense, he was below average in a lot of these stats. I want to say Brock Boeser, Quinn Hughes, and Jake DeBrusk all came out firing. PD didn't look the best. But overall, the Vancouver Canucks are in a situation where changes are going to end up coming to this team at some points. Now, looking at the forward group, the top line has been dominant. Yes, Pettersson didn't look the best, but you can still put this line out and expect them to produce at a high level. The second line, Baines, maybe you switch this up a bit. Yes, Baines has been outstanding on the penalty kill especially, but maybe this is where someone like Linus Karlsson might step in. Maybe you slide Kane up with Hedl and Garland. I do think the Canucks, and listen, it's not rational to blow things up. You're not going to go out and make major changes. After one loss, your goaltender played great, your offense wasn't, but you had a dominant game versus the Calgary Flames. The Monday night game versus the St. Louis Blues, it's going to be interesting. We've seen them shut out versus the Minnesota Wild. We've seen them come in and I believe win their second game 3-1, 3-2, 4-2, whatever it may be. The Vancouver Canucks are going to go in against a team that was quite hot last season, coming in looking to do the same. So maybe Linus Karlsson joining this group, maybe you move Baines down, O'Connor up, whatever it might be. I think the biggest question is, what do you do if Braden Cootes is sent down because you need a center? Maybe when Teddy Blueger comes back, you try a guy like Cootes onto the wing, maybe the second line, maybe he takes Baines' position. But I think the Canucks do need to shake things up a tiny bit to get some more offense really rolling within this group. Not that it's been bad, but I do think you can get a lot more, especially on the defensive end, with a quick tweak. And listen, it's only 2 games in once again, but now's the time to try things. I think Victor Mancini is quite ready to step in, so maybe that's the piece. What are you guys' thoughts? What is your thoughts on Cootes after the first 2 games? Would you like to see 7 more games? Do you think it's going to go into 82 games, or do you think he's going to head back to the WHL once we do see Blueger back? What's your thoughts on Quinn Hughes making history? Let us know down in the comments. And speaking on comments, let's go into comments today. I think we're deep in goaltending and defense, just need to see the forward position, and we can finally have the type of deep team that we've dreamed of. And I do think there is a lot of great prospects on the team at the forward position. I mean, Jonathan Lekmacki's not a prospect anymore, but on the defensive end, of course, Tom Willander in the AHL. You have Tolopilo standing on his head for Abbotsford, and even some guys like Wilson Bjork stepping up in the NCAA. I think the Canucks have a lot of underrated prospects joining this group, but let us know all your thoughts, and you could be featured on Comments of the Day. While you're down there, leave a like, subscribe, share this with your friends. We'll be back another episode tomorrow, so keep your eye for that. I just want to say happy Thanksgiving to everyone that celebrates, and if you don't, I hope you guys are having an awesome weekend as well. Going into a long weekend's everyone's favorite. Let us know your thoughts. What do you think the score of the games can be tomorrow? Let us know down below. But I've been your host, Mark. Bye. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and take care, Canucks fans.